there is a temporary ceasefire in Ukraine. Also, some Americans are going to be receiving potentially a new $1,300 check, a kind of anti-inflationary check, a new stimulus. Ukraine and Russia have agreed to a temporary local ceasefire for aid and evacuees. This is during their second round of peace talks. During Russia's invasion, the Ukrainian presidential advisor announced in issue that the two sides agreed to the co-organization of humanitarian coordinators in their second rounds of discussions. But this is not for everywhere. Apparently, it will be possible to ceasefire for the duration of the evacuation. Moscow and Kyiv also reached a consensus for delivering medicine and food. Unfortunately, through the result, Ukraine needs are not yet achieved. The first round of talks, which took place on Monday between Russia and Ukraine, didn't really yield any results. There can be fair negotiation if one side does not hit the other side with rocket artillery. So far, we do not have the result we would like to get. Russia has started its position, and we have declared counterpoints to the end the war. Just yesterday, Russia's foreign ministry said that Russia will continue with the war until the end. Well, Russia is going to be ending the war until they either win or they have no other choice. I don't think Putin is going to come out of this illusion unless he literally has no other choice. So they're going to have to make this very difficult on him with sanctions or other measures. Meanwhile, there's an increased effort, a bipartisan effort between Republicans and Democrats calling to the end Russian oil imports. Now, this would cut off the money supply to Russia. If they do this, it could end Russia, financially destroy them. However, it could also raise the cost of gas for us, such a double-edged war. On Tuesday, a group of 9 Republicans put forward legislation seeking to ban imports of Russian oil, and this hasn't passed yet. But there are many people who support this war in agreement that the US should stop bringing in Russian oil. But Republicans are pushing for increasing US drilling, while marquee Democrats are switching to advocating to switch to clean energy. Both the marquee bill and a separate Republican version led by a Republican senator. Quote, first and foremost, President Biden needs to restart America's energy production and quit financing Russian President war on Ukraine by continuing to purchase oil from Russia. Now, in all fairness, we've been purchasing oil from Russia for decades. It's not like Biden increased. In fact, we all kind of know that former President Donald Trump he actually openly admits that he's good friend with Putin. But if we do cut up oil from Russia, certainly see the price of gas go up here in the US and worldwide. Yesterday, the price of oil soared over $113 per barrel. Now, we haven't stopped buying oil from Russia yet. Imagine that if we stop, how high the price of oil could go. It's gonna make gas, right? So we can drill more here in the US. We can export some of our oil. Let's remember, about 38% of our oil gas is sold to other countries. Even though we import about 8% of our oil from Russia, about 8% of our oil comes in from Russia, but we sell 38% of our oil from the US to other countries. The US is actually the number one producer of oil and gasoline. The massive country of Russia, remember, they are not as developed as us. The US is actually the number one producer, but we sell 38% of our oil. And it's been like we've been selling that much of our oil for quite a while. It hasn't dramatically changed in the last year from Biden or anything like that. is done by the gas companies, but that could have to be an ordinance potentially by Congress. The price of oil did come down a little bit today. The price of regular WTI crude is down to 108, and the price of Brent crude is 111. Breaking news: UN nuclear watchdog. Iran supply increase its stockpile of enriched uranium here. Oil closed short to $125 a barrel on the supply shock, and with it hitting 113 a barrel just last night. 125 a barrel seems like a most. If we stop buying oil from Russia, it almost seems like that's the right thing to do. Everybody how close Russia is to the United States. Alaska and Russia basically touch each other. Russia has basically our neighborhood north percent, so they are right there, and this affects us and basically touch Alaska. Because of this energy crisis and this inflation crisis, we are starting to see more and more stages, and potentially even the federal government sending out anti-inflation checks. And the next stimulus check from the federal government may even be called this as well. In fact, Alaska, considering this as well, you can see here rebates when some Americans may be eligible for a $1,300 boost to help with energy costs. Energy and gas and all this are just getting out of control. See if your state is giving out cash. Some residents could see a $1,300 checks in their future if state lawmakers can propose a new energy rebates bill. And we've had other states do bill like this and other similar ideas like this. The Alaska House of Representatives is expected to propose a one-time $1,300 energy rebate to all residents as oil prices skyrocket. This is just the most recent here. We have a lot of states also considering pausing their state taxes on gas or reducing state taxes on gas. We are seeing a lot of states do what they call a time $1,300 energy rebates. It will be interesting to see how they do that. Energy rebate sounds like it's going to just be a check. Energy rebate sounds like a check. The operating budget is set to be unveiled to the House Finance Committee on Thursday, which is today. According to Representative Bryce Admin, the $900 million, that's almost $1 billion in funding for the rebate, will come from the state's general fund. The fund is expected to get a major boost because oil prices are going over 100 a barrel. Part of the reason for the proposed payment is due to the economic cost of the pandemic. Again, more states are giving back to their people, and again anti-inflationary checks because of the pandemic and price of oil. Edmond said the cost for fuel could double for rural Alaskans before the end of 2022, which is another justification for the payment. The Governor Sarah Palin successfully proposed $1,200 energy rebates to help residents with rising fuel costs back in 2008. So, though that's basically an entire stimulus check for entire stages, I will keep you up to date here on all these things on the state level, on the federal level. Mortgage assistance, rent assistance, utility assistance, the child tax credits, raises for Social Security for low income, everything that has to do with putting money in your pockets, as well as daily news.